Hey guys, today I wanted to make a video about feeling lost and stuck. It's a pretty common feeling for a lot of us to experience, and a lot of times it comes in waves, We might have some momentum kind of going for us, and maybe we've been, doing a really good job at working towards something, and all of a sudden we feel like we can't really, get to that next point. And I just kind of wanted to talk about this and maybe dig a little bit more into, kind of why this happens, or some reasons that it might be happening, and kind of ways to navigate that, because it can be tricky. So the first thing I wanted to kind of talk about is, when you kind of get lost or stuck when you're trying to accomplish something new. A lot of times it's that there's part of it that maybe feels a bit overwhelming. If you're taking on a large project, or you have kind of a big vision or goal that you're working towards, it can be kind of difficult to, look at this big, large picture, an image of what you have planned, and to kind of reflect on, what am I supposed to do with this? How am I supposed to accomplish this? And when we look at something from that kind of overhead view, or that kind of zoomed out view, it can be kind of stressful, because we're really looking at a really large task in front of us. But I was having an interesting conversation with a friend the other day, and we kind of talked about how really, anything can be expanded out into a much larger, set of activities than they really are, So when you look at maybe a game plan that you have for, how you're going to get everything done, it can be kind of intimidating. Or even if you're just thinking about how you're going to get everything done, it can be really intimidating, because you're kind of going through all these thoughts of, well, first I'm going to have to do this, and then I'm going to have to do that, and then if I get that done, that means I have to do this. And, if you were to take the example of, filling, your car up with gas, right? You could say, okay, task 1, fill up my car with gas, and that'd be the end of the task. But if you kind of dig deeper into all that goes into filling up your gas tank, you could go into, well, first I gotta get out of my car, and then I gotta close the door, and then I have to go up and take the pump and swipe my credit card, and you could kind of break down this task into a bunch of really small tasks, and that could seem very overwhelming. So, really the goal here is to, instead of looking at the overall picture, really take a look at just one thing that you need to do. Don't look at it as, I have to do these 10 things. It's just, I have to do this. And then once you've accomplished that first thing that you need to do, then move on to, okay, what's next? And having a game plan is still really good. Having a list of things, a way of kind of navigating what you're going to do is still really good, because it gives you a way of not having to spend so much time and energy even just trying to figure out what the next step is, and it really simplifies things for you. But sometimes when you're looking at the big picture, it can be kind of intimidating. So instead, just kind of take things task by task by task by task, and just do one thing and then move on. The other part of this is kind of that, a lot of people don't even have a game plan. So what I would definitely suggest is, if there's something that, is coming up in your life where you just feel stuck, like you don't feel like you even have a way or a mindset around how you're going to navigate the situation, you might want to write it down. You might want to get out a notebook and go ahead and write down what might be going on for you, so that you can look at it on paper and say, okay, here's the game plan. And really just getting even into that mindset of, asking yourself the question, what are some things I could do? and thinking about it that way, that's what resourcefulness is. That's what being resourceful is asking yourself, what can I do? And when you begin doing that, what's really amazing is that you'll begin finding all kinds of solutions you might not have even thought existed. They weren't really even in your view of the situation. And you begin brainstorming and just coming up with all kinds of possibilities of things you could do, and you begin kind of seeing a larger picture and kind of mapping that out. So if you're having trouble because maybe you don't even know where to start, where to approach from, just begin writing things down, and then you can begin organizing those thoughts into kind of a roadmap, again, into that map of do this, then do that, then do the next thing. And some of that might even just be preparation. You might need to take time to even prepare to take the next action step. So you might not even be ready to necessarily do the next thing. Maybe you do need time to plan. Maybe you do need time to figure out what the next step is, and you can put that planning time into the roadmap. You can put that into the schedule so you can figure out what's next. Some other reasons why we might feel stuck are, just even getting started on anything, right? A lot of times we just don't get started. And what can really help with that is just switching things up, taking some form of action. It doesn't have to be action directly related towards what you're trying to accomplish. It can just be an action that is moving you forward out of the place that you're in. Because when we're actually stuck physically, we feel that even more. We feel that pressure more when we are physically stuck in a position. If we are locked in our house, if we are, just laying in bed, we physically feel stuck. But a lot of times our mindset might be trying to, again, navigate this larger situation, or how you're going to just take that first step into what you're trying to do. And maybe a better idea is, taking an easier first step. Okay, what would be the first thing to get me out of bed? Okay, I just have to sit up. That's all I have to do. I just have to sit up. Can I sit up? Okay, I've sat up, And then, put my feet on the floor. Okay. And you just begin taking kind of these micro actions, these little steps that are kind of just changing your situation. It could just be as simple as getting out of the house, getting a fresh perspective, doing something that maybe you haven't done before, and it doesn't have to be anything wild. It could just be going to a different location, putting yourself in a position that's, refreshing and new, and it's just kind of getting you out of maybe where you're used to being. It doesn't have to be really far out of your comfort zone, but it could just be, hey, I've really never gone to that park down the street. Let me just go ahead and go there for a little bit, clear my head and really figure out how I'm going to do this. But just wanted to leave you with that, and hopefully that helped you out, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.